Christians. So they at a point of time decided in America, they decided that we will cut off from all technology, we'll stay together. So they hardly use any technology. So our devotees went to meet them. So they found suddenly we are bereft of all the gross pleasures which a technology provides. But then one person was telling, but we have such warm relationships. So he said that's just a year ago, one of the person, his hut caught fire. So entire house was burnt. But entire house was built in one day by all the community people. All the community people came together and they built his house in one day. So no charges, it's just out of love. So in Vedic culture, because loving relationships are there, that gives a more soothing experience than the gross pleasures. Like you have seen sometimes, it might happen that not few of us are going to some place and prasadam is not enough for all the devotees. But then when devotees sacrifice for each other, it is more pleasurable than consuming the entire prasad. Some of you had that experience?
Yes.
Yes? So subtle pleasures are more satisfying than the gross pleasures. So that is why you find this particular phenomena again and again appearing in Bhagavatam, where you meet someone, then you ask about the history of all the people. Is he alright, that he alright, that person alright, that person alright. Currently the situation in metro cities is such that now even Calcutta, one fellow died and a whole family, actually 2-3 people died. After 4 days when the foul smell started really spreading very badly, they came to know that somebody had died inside. So even the neighbors don't know who is dying and who is living. But in villages you will find villages, people are concerned, over concerned. Even if somebody is sneezing, they'll say, oh, this fellow is sneezing, maybe he got cold. Everybody knows he got cold. So that's like a warmth of relationships.
Too much concern also is problem.
Anyway, Kali Yuga, because things are deteriorated, it is like that. A little concern would be like a proper concern. Not like harassing concern. Pradumna sarvrishninam sukhamaste maharatha gambhir rayo aniruddho vardate bhagavanuta. Please read.
How is Pradyumna, the great general of Vishnu family, is he happy? And is Aniruddha, the plenary expansion of the personality of Godhead, faring well?
Now he has about all Chaturvyuha except Krishna. Chaturvyuha, 3 viewers out of 1. Only Vasudeva is missing. But he is fearful that Krishna will be disciplined. So he has come out all these people. Susedascharu deshnascha sambho jambavati sutaha annecha karsni pravara saputra risabhadayaha.
As are all the chief sons of Lord Krishna, such as Susena, Charudeshna, Samba, the son of Jambavati, and Vesipa, along with their son, all doing well.
Yeah. So Krishna had 1608 wives. With each one of them he had 10 sons and 1 daughter.
One daughter and
At the end. So 10 sons, 1 daughter.
one daughter.
So this was family of Krishna. Now we are also family members of Krishna in the sense that
The mix.
we are part and parcel.
Mix.
So in earlier ages, big families were considered an opulence.
Like but in the whole first character we don't find about the daughters, only sons which are written.
See, actually in Vedic culture, now you may say it's like, anyway, here no Mati are there, that's good. She'll come tomorrow. So the point is now many times people say it is the Vedic society is male dominating. Actually, see, speaking the psychology is women is that women want to assist and not never be highlighted.
Ah.
That's a natural psychology of women. But unfortunately nowadays, because there is excessive comparison between men and women, they have been artificially trained to become equal to men. Otherwise, generally we have seen, like among my counsellors also, as soon as girls, even when they were very educated and they could earn a lot of money, like some of my counselors from IIT and NITs, so their wives are also from IITs and NITs, and they really earn a lot of money. But as soon as I told that no, it's better for a woman to remain a housewife, they immediately agreed. Because within their heart they didn't want to work, they wanted to assist their husband. That's natural for them. So it's a natural inclination of a woman to become an assistant. For a man it is very difficult. It's one of the reasons why you will find in Brahmachari ashram, you must have observed. No, assistant. To assist someone is like a tough job, right? Brahmacharis don't like. No, Prabhu, you are assistant to this devotee only. And then Brahmachari starts thinking, how long? How long will I remain? One day I also want some independence in life. But for women it's a natural psychology to be assistant. Because being an assistant you don't get any credit. It's like husband is earning more and people glorify, he's a young man, he's achieved so many things. So we don't hear so much about women. But naturally the psychology is that when a man is glorified, women understand that it is my glory also. So it's a natural psychology. So they don't need to be like so much highlighted as such. So in the Vedic culture, we don't want see such a highlight because they don't want to be highlighted. Like you see in Mayapur also, few years back there was a big uproar that no, Mataji should also give Bhagavatam class. But when the opportunity is given, not many women have turned up to give Bhagavatam class. So not many Matajis come to give Bhagavatam class. So when there is comparison made, then for some time they become a little heated up. We also want to become equal to men. But within the core of their heart, they don't want to become equal to men.
That's natural humility, right?
That's a nature. Subtle body is designed like that.
It's not humility. You can't say natural humility.
You may say like that. But humility, you can say, is also a quality of mode of goodness, and humility is also a product of devotional service. So it may not be a product of devotional service as such. But the point is, it's the very reason they have got a female body, or we have got a gross body of a male, there is a subtle body behind that. So as far as their subtle body, they like to assist, they love to assist. They love to take care of children. So in Vedic culture, things are not condemned, they are utilized. Like women really, they have taste buds twice of men. Taste buds are double of men, twice, 2 times. So they can eat something and immediately say that no, okay, this is spoiled.
Okay.
This is no like cooked previous day, or this was cooked 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago. And for men, their senses are pretty blunt. And for some men, it's like you would really tell them whether no, you have added sugar or salt in the sabji. But because that sort of mentality is there, similarly they are very bodily conscious. But then that mentality helps them to take care of kids. If that mentality is not there, they can't take care of kids. I know my relatives, husband and wife both went with the kids, and after evening time, son started crying that no, I'm feeling hungry. Then wife, this time she was like really intolerant. You rascals in morning, I'm telling you, feed him something. You are saying no need to eat anything. So women, they're sensitive. They can look over to the need of the children. If you say man only to take care of children, he can't take care of children. He doesn't know how to take care of children. So that's why psychology of each personality, if they're put in a proper place, it's like it works. Like men naturally are not very good in housekeeping. Women naturally are good in housekeeping. You can see the hostel of the boys. So boys have to be trained in the Gurukul for remaining clean, for doing housekeeping. Otherwise, sometimes boys' hostel look so obnoxious and stingy. We would go for youth preaching and we'll find it's like bad smell would really come out. So, anyway, so let us come back. So the reason Krishna's daughters are not mentioned.
It's mentioned 10th canto.
That's mentioned. 10 sons from his wife and one daughter. And in Vedic culture, generally, many children are, it's like, bigger the dynasty, more you feel pride. Even today, if you go in Africa,
Africa.
yeah. So if you ask any person, how many children do you have? They say, too many, we can't even count them. Because it's like a sense of pride that I have a lot of children.
Okay.
Not like no people feel ashamed that I have more children. Tathaivanuchara sore sutta devo dhavadayah sunandananda sirshanaya ye chane satvata risabha abhi swasti asate sarve rama krishna bhujasraya abhi smaranti kusalam asmakam vad sohida. Please read.
Also, Shrutadev, Uddhav and others, Nanda, Sunanda and other leaders of liberated souls who are constant companions of the Lord are protected by Lord Balaram and Krishna. Are they all doing well in their respective functions? Do they, who are all eternally bound in friendship with us, remember our welfare?
So do they remember us? They are functioning nicely or not? So he's asking about all the. Now that's a name. Thoda sa, little bit. Bhagavan api govindo brahmanyo bhakta vatsalaha kachit pureshu dharmayam sukham aste suridvita. Please read.
Is Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who gives pleasure to the cows, the senses, and the brahmanas, who is very affectionate towards his devotees, enjoying the pious assembly of at Dwarkapuri, surrounded by friends.
Now he's asking about Krishna. Whether Krishna is happy or there or he's there or not there. You can read the purport.
Here, in this particular verse, the Lord is described as a Bhagavan, Govinda, Brahmanaya, and Bhakta Kusala. He is the Bhagavan Swayam, or the original Supreme Personality Godhead, full with all opulences, all power, all knowledge, all beauty, all fame, and all renunciation. No one is equal to or greater than him. He is Govinda because he is the pleasure of the cows and the senses. Those who have purified their senses by the devotional service of the Lord can render unto him real service and thereby derive transcendental pleasure out of such purified senses. Only the impure conditioned living beings cannot derive any pleasure from the senses, but being illusioned by false pleasure of the senses, he becomes servant of the senses. Therefore, we need his protection for our own interest. The Lord is the protector of cows and the Brahminical culture. A society devoid of cow protection and Brahminical culture is not under the direct protection of the Lord, just as the prisoner in the jailhouse are not under the protection of the king, but under the protection of a civil agent of the king. Without cow protection and cultivation of the Brahminical qualities in human society, at least for a section of the members of society, no human civilization can prosper at any length. By Brahminical culture, the development of the dormant qualities of goodness, namely truthfulness, equanimity, sense control, forbearance, simplicity, general knowledge, transcendental knowledge, and firm faith in the Vedic wisdom, one can become a Brahmana and thus see the Lord as he is. And after surpassing the Brahminical perfection, one has to become a devotee of the Lord so that his loving affection in the form of proprietor, master, friend, son and lover can be transcendentally achieved. The stage of a devotee which attracts the transcendental affection of the Lord does not develop unless one has developed the qualities of a Brahmana as above mentioned. The Lord is inclined to a Brahmana of quality and not of false prestige. Those who are less than a Brahmana by qualification cannot establish any relationship with the Lord, just as fire cannot be kindled from the raw earth unless there is wood. Although there is a relationship between wood and the earth, since the Lord is all perfect in himself, there could not be any question of his welfare. And Maharaj Yudhishthira refrained from asking this question. He simply inquired about his residential place, Dwarkapuri, where pious men assemble. The Lord stays only where pious men assemble and take pleasure in their glorifying the supreme truth. Maharaj Yudhishthira was anxious to know about the pious men and their pious acts in the city of Dwarka.
So Prabhupada, if we see in the purport, he has emphasized on cow protection, Brahmanical culture, and also worshipping the Supreme Lord by one's senses. Because even on a very superficial or a material level, if one wants to enjoy through his senses, senses have to be put in contact with the best sense object.
Best sense of
Who is the best sense object in the entire creation?
Krishna.
Krishna. So main thing is, it's only under illusion a person thinks that if I use or bring my senses in contact with material sense objects, I can be happy. That is not possible. Because matter by nature is asat, achit, niranand. It is temporary, cause of ignorance, and full of misery. So as soon as senses come in contact with sense objects, it is going to give misery. Only when senses come in contact with the Supreme Lord is our senses going to get enlivened. So that's why even if on a level of enjoying sense gratification, one has to bring senses in contact with the sense objects. So this is not about this. This is one thing is reason is enjoyment, and second reason is also satisfaction. Senses also can be satisfied only when they come in contact with Krishna. That's all. A beautiful verse in Padyavali. Kamadinam katitana katita palita dornitesas tesam jata maina karuna na tripano pesanti usrijeta natyadupate samritam labda buddhis tamayata saranam abhyam mamnium shamadasate. So this verse is Kamadinam katina katita. Kam, krodh, lobh, lust, envy, pride, greed. Katitana katita. What to say and what not to say. They have given me all sort of instructions. There are certain instructions and I have followed all those instructions very, very faithfully. I can speak certain things I can't reveal to anyone except Krishna. Right? Certain things are there. We can't even tell to our spiritual master. We feel fearful. So Palita Durdesis. And very faithfully we have served all these instructions of lust, envy, pride, greed, etc. And Tesam Jata Maina Karuna. Although we have served all these people so nicely, till now they never had any mercy upon us. We say at least give me holiday on Sunday. No, Sunday you have to do double work. Na tripa. Till now my senses are not satisfied although I have served them so much. Na upsanti. They have not become cool, calm till now. Okay, I enjoyed so much sense gratification, now at least don't remain agitated. Still they are agitated. Upasanti. Uttar Satyatan Atyadupati Samtam Labdhabodhi. Somehow or the other, my dear Yadupati, I got intelligence and I have left their service. Tam ayata saranam abhyam mam samdaste. That's my dear Lord. Now I have taken shelter of your lotus feet. Kindly engage me in your service. Because senses can be satisfied only when we engage them in Krishna service. Another two things as Prabhupada is emphasizing on cow protection and Vedic culture, Brahmanical culture. Because even on a material platform, what are two results of mode of goodness? As we read in Bhagavad Gita. Two results of mode of goodness.
The two results of mood and goodness is freedom from attachment and being able to not be affected by the modes of material nature.
No, that is when we transcend. Anyway, two results are.
Purity.
Cow and
See, you all are right, but the verse which says Satya Sanjayate Jnana. Sense of happiness and knowledge is a result of mode of goodness. So, happiness and knowledge. So they automatically come in mode of goodness. So that is the reason Brahminical culture and cow protection, they help in that way. So automatically when a person is in mode of goodness, his senses are peaceful. When senses are peaceful, we are also peaceful, we are happy. So really if somebody wants to, that's why Krishna speaks in Uddhav Gita, the real Swarga is the place where a person is in mode of goodness. That is heaven. So what is heaven? Where person is in mode of goodness, that is heaven. So wherever there is cow, there is Brahminical culture which is practiced, person is happy. Otherwise, person may be having all facilities and amenities for sense gratification. But when your senses are agitated, how can you be happy? Only when senses are peaceful, one can be happy. It is like anyway, I am going a little off tour, but I will just mention this example. I remember in our place is known for poets. A lot of poets came from the place where I stay. It's near to Jhansi. So a lot of poets. So students have a habit of writing poems everywhere. Table, walls, here, there. All sort of poems. Non-Krishna conscious. So when we would go to washroom, somebody wrote a poem. So I'll explain the meaning also. It is written in Hindi. So it would say, स्वर्ग 2 बार मिलता है, मरने के बाद और जो आप कर रहे हैं वो करने के बाद. You get heaven 2 times after dying and doing whatever you are doing now. Just responding to nature's call. So I was doing little analysis on that. Actually, that is exactly what happens. When one drinks a lot of water, the urinary bladder becomes full, bloated. And one feels so miserable. It's like, people are, you tell them, what do you want? I can give you any boon. They will say, no, let me pass urine first. Situations are so bad. And when one passes urine, one feels a sense of pleasure. Now, what is this pleasure? This pleasure is actually removal of misery. So whenever urinary bladder is full, you are so miserable, and when you pass it, it is like free. That's called pleasure. So all sense gratification is like that only. When senses, they desire sense objects, one feels agitated. That is misery. And when temporarily one gets sense gratification, one feels, I am happy. That is not happiness. That is removal of misery. So it's actually removal of misery. But main thing is, how long do you have happiness of passing urine? Till you drink water again it becomes bloated. Right? So same thing. Senses do function like that. Again after some time they start desiring sense objects, again they are agitated. So in mode of goodness, what happens is, mode of goodness, senses are peaceful. They don't desire sense objects anymore. So that is actually happiness. Of course, real happiness is when senses come in contact with Krishna in the form of Krishna Prasad or holy name or somewhere, his deity form. So then senses can be actually satisfied. So that is why Brahminical culture and cow protection, they induce mode of goodness in the environment which helps a person to be really happy and peaceful.
What is that verse you quoted?
Kamadinam kathitana kathita. Just put Kamadinam. Now, few minutes are remaining, at least we'll try to cover this chapter. But it's famous, you can read with me only. Very famous. Mangalaya cha lokanam chemaya cha bhavaya cha aste yadu kalam bodha ado ananta sakha puman yad bahu danda guptayam swapuryam yadavo archita kridanti paramanandam mahapaurushikayeva.
The original personality Godhead enjoyed Balaram, the primeval Lord Ananta, staying in the ocean of the Yadu dynasty for the welfare, protection and general progress of the entire universe, and the members of the Yadu dynasty being protected by the arms of the Lord are enjoying life like the residents of the spiritual sky.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful analogy. What we can do, you can read, you read, I'll tell you till where to read. Start reading purport.
As we have discussed many times, the personality Godhead Vishnu reside within each and every universe in two capacities, namely as the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and the Sirodakshaya Vishnu. The Sirodakshaya Vishnu has his own planet on the northern top of the universe, and there is a great ocean of milk where the Lord resides on the bed of Ananta, incarnation of Baldev. Thus, Maharaj Yudhishthira has compared the Yadu dynasty to the ocean of milk and Sri Balaram to the Ananta where Lord Krishna resides. He has compared the citizens of Dwarka to the liberated inhabitants of the Vaikuntha loks. Beyond the material sky, further than we can see with our eyes, and beyond the sevenfold coverings of the universe, there is a causal ocean in which all the universes are floating like footballs. And beyond the causal ocean, there is an unlimited span of spiritual sky, generally known as the effulgence of Brahma. Within this effulgence, there are innumerable spiritual planets, and they are known as the Vaikuntha planets. Each and every Vaikuntha planet is many times bigger than the biggest universe within the material world. And each of them, there are innumerable inhabitants who look exactly like Lord
That's
Vishnu.
all. So lot of good purport, you can read the other time. So description of spiritual world is given there. So Yadu dynasty is compared to like ocean of milk. Lord Balaram is compared to Anantadev, and Lord Krishna is compared to Lord Narayana or Lord Vishnu residing there. So this is analogy given in this particular verse. Yadpad susrusana mukhya karmana satyadayo dviyashta sahasra yositaha nirjetya sankhe tridasam tadasiso haranti vajra yudhvallabhojita. Please read.
Simply by administering comforts at the lotus feet of the Lord, which is the most important of all services, the queens at Dwarka, headed by Satyabhama, induced the Lord to conquer the demigods. Thus the queens enjoy things which are prerogatives of the wives of the controller of thunderbolts.
So in this queens, they enjoy things which are actually speaking not even available to the wives of Indra. So because they enjoy service to the Lord. Now we will not read because we have less time. But they're beautiful verses. So here translation. Next translation.
The great heroes of the Yadu dynasty, being protected by the arms of Lord Sri Krishna, all